Welcome, everyone, to another Literalist reaction video. My name is Dave, and I'm here, as always, with my good buddy, music lover John Doe. Oh, John. Oh, John. We're going real bluesy this time.
Oh, Dave. Yes. Well, yes. Before we get to that, your multiple choice question.
I got another trivia question of the day. All right, hit me.
Your multiple choice question answers are either Miss Cactus, Miss Passion Flower, Miss Banana Tree, or Miss Fern.
Okay, go on.
Based on her tendency to retain a lot of water, whose dress will be the tightest at the plant prom this weekend?
I mean, I want to say Miss Cactus because they retain a ton of water on principle. Ferns also can retain a good bit of water, though. I feel like Miss Cactus would be the prickliest of the bunch.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to dance with
right.
her.
You're right. It's the cactus, that's for sure. Designed for the desert, so she retains a lot of water, and she could also use a little nair.
I think that can you imagine just you're at your middle school prom and you move in to dance with Miss Cactus and just
I think I did once in middle school. Or junior high it was called back then.
Sounds uncomfortable.
So Stevie Ray Vaughan, we visited, and you were floored and awed by the amazing skill of his playing.
He played behind his back for a while.
Behind his back, and many of the viewers wanted to say, Dave, there was no technician unplugging a cord.
Go on.
Stevie Ray himself pulled the strap off so that he could move the guitar behind his back and then reattach the strap, which means that in that process, he was suspending the guitar while playing it with his left hand by the neck.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I was already impressed. I didn't need more.
Yeah. So anyway, the cord was always plugged in. What he removed was the strap.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and shoved it behind his back and kind of danced over the cord, which was off screen. I don't think you saw that. So anyway, they wanted to make sure you know that. But doing that video got a whole bunch of Stevie Ray Vaughan fans out of the woodwork all over the world. And the most requested song was a song called Tin Pan Alley. And some of them very specifically wanted a very specific version, which is what I've given you the link to.
Okay.
And it is featuring one of Stevie Ray Vaughan's blues heroes, Johnny Copeland. So it's Stevie Ray Vaughan and Johnny Copeland doing a song called Tin Pan Alley live. And hopefully we'll be able to show the video, but maybe not the way the copyright laws go. And it might be somewhat out of view of our viewers, but the song will be there.
Tin Pan Alley, see what was going on. Things was too hot down there, couldn't stay very long. Hey, hey,
on, get up there, do it.
Get up in the morning. Before the break of day. Before she can wash her face and hands. You know she ready to go away, yeah. Hey, 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 because what kind of play in this here alley be?
So his idol, what'd you say his name was?
Johnny Copeland.
He has a much more subtle style. Like Stevie Ray Vaughan is like very, I don't want to say in your face, but a little bit like with how all over the place he is, how aggressively he plays. And it's amazing. I love it. And then it seems like he brought this guy for Johnny that is just much more subtle. And it may absolutely be this song. Like this amount of him I've seen is the entirety of the amount of him that I've seen.
Yeah, right.
So, lots of caveats there. But from what I've seen, he's just more calm and quiet. Also, amazing voice. No offense to Stevie Ray Vaughan, but much better voice.
Yeah, definitely Johnny Copeland seemed to have a more classic blues voice. A more like, spent time in that alley voice.
Yes, very much so. But I gotta say, so far, maybe I'm a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan.
I'm sure we're gonna get you there. As people were amazed that you had never been very familiar. Like you said in the first video, you heard his name before, but you didn't think you could pick him out of a crowd. And that's true. Some of them also wanted to point out something I forgot to point out. If you look at the size of the guitar strings that Stevie Ray Vaughan plays with, I think they're called size 13 strings. Start-off players start with like a 9 or a 10 as far as the size goes. What he's playing there are almost bass guitar string. I mean, if you look at how thick they are and how far he's bending them, it just lends more to the credence of Stevie Ray Vaughan as the GOAT of the blues guitar.
Is that why it sounds like all of his notes are just a little lower?
It will have something to do with the resonance and things like that. It will play an effect in it. They're still the same notes basically, but it will have an effect on the overall tone.
Well, I may know nothing about music, but I'm willing to make it up.
There you go. And we want to thank RJ, DR, Thomas, Donna G, Jennifer, and Mama Flush.
Oh, you just serious?
Others for recommending this video.
John, you disappeared in the middle of that list.
Oh my! All right, let's start again. RJ, DR, that's one person. Thomas,
just start with
Donna.
We want to thank. That'd probably be the easiest to cut.
Hey, we also want to thank some of the people who recommended this video because it's an awesome video. RJ, DR, Thomas, Donna G, Jennifer, Mama Flush, and others. Thank you so much for recommending this awesome video.
Yeah, so far, super into it. Excellent work.
Yeah, it was a 44. Somebody killed a crap shooter cause he didn't know. Shake, run and roll. Hey. Hey, what kind of place can it be?
This is my first time seeing this too. And it looks like Stevie Ray has adjusted his singing and playing to slow it down a bit.
All those people down there. Lord, they're living for that whiskey, wine, and jam.
I don't think Johnny does it. That is insane.
Whew.
That is insane.
I think two really cool moments happened here, and they didn't actually have to do with either of their incredible playing skills. When the camera panned back at one point and you saw a shot of Johnny playing and Stevie just basically being his background guitar, the look of admiration on Stevie Ray Vaughan's face was so sincere.
Oh yeah.
And I think that moment was just really, really cool. Like he's living his dream. He's getting to play with who he considers one of his best idols, and like that was captured in his face.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see. And then we almost had the reverse moment when you saw Stevie Ray Vaughan, who I'm going to go out on a limb here and say is the superior guitar player on that stage. But you saw Johnny like also just so in the moment and so thrilled to be a part of this incredible duo.
Yeah.
That it's passion. Like you always say, like what makes good music? It's passion. And right here we have a stage full of people who are willing to drip gallons of sweat because of the passion of how much they love playing. And it's coming out in the music in such an incredible way.
Yeah. Agreed.
I heard a woman scream. Yeah, and I peeped through the door. Some kid was working on Annie with her. Lord, Lord, the 2x4. Hey, hey, hey. roughest place it'll be. All the people down there, Lord, you're killing for that whiskey, wine, and gin. I saw a cop standing there with his hand on his gun. Said this is a red boys now. Lord, Lord, nobody run. Hey, hey, hey. Roughest place it'll be. Well, they took me with that alley. Lord, it took me right back to the fair.
Oof. All right. I have some thoughts.
Okay. Let's hear 'em, Dave.
Oh, man. So in previous videos, I said a thing that I don't know if I still now disagree with, but I do want to point something out. On these videos, I always end up at some point thinking, man, that drummer's got a boring job. 13 and a half minutes. That dude barely changed what he did. And he even did it slowly.
Yeah.
But every time you actually saw the drummer, dude looked like he was having the time of his life.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so like as much as I still think that from a drumming perspective looks boring as can be, I don't think he was bored. He was having an amazing time. His face was lit up. He was in the moment. He was loving every bit of it. So that was actually just really nice to see for me, who always feels bad for the drummer. That mix was definitely designed to say, we are here to listen to these two guitars.
Yeah.
Even when
Oh,
it
yeah.
comes to the keyboard, which sounded totally in the vein of a wonderful sort of Hammond B3 esque sound.
Yeah.
It was so quiet. It was so in the background. It was definitely not the star of the show. It was a gentle, let us bring more body to the piece that we're playing.
Yes.
But he never got his solo moment or anything like that. Like we were here to listen to these guitars.
Exactly, for sure. And the Hammond was critical to that song's overall mood, for sure. So yeah, the Hammond and its place. And you know what I love is when the guitar is going and you're watching the guy's fingers and he just drops one more note to give that chord a little bit nuance, and it's barely perceptible, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's there, and it's doing its job, and I love that about music, that you can have three notes of a chord down and then drop another finger and it alters it
Yeah.
subtly but beautifully.
And that takes a level of skill and just experience, I think, that is absolutely incredible. I mean, the skill of even sitting and playing by yourself as opposed to the skill of playing with other people is already a wildly different thing. And watching those two play together, those two play the guitar together it was truly a joy. Lyrically, I don't think it was that special of a song lyrically. I think it was unfortunately about a struggling back alley full of people who aren't doing the best in life, and so they're full of drugs and alcohol, and then often getting shot. Even the doors off of this alley are not good places. He opened one, and then there was a woman getting beat with a 2x4, so that's a cheery thought. And then at the end of it, he sort of drops the little tidbit that he was here, even though he's fresh out of jail, and now he's going right back to the slammer. What a sad, depressing circle for him.
Yeah.
I would guess maybe it's a song set during Prohibition. Maybe that was the raid. I don't know what the raid was. Could have been a drug raid. Could have been a sex trafficking raid. Could have been lots of things. But either way, it is a very sad and depressing picture of a small piece of a town or city where nothing's going right for everyone, and those who just got out of jail are heading back shortly, if they survive at all.
Well, and I would argue that makes the lyrics special. You say they're not, there's nothing, and I think what you mean is there's nothing to analyze because it was straightforward.
That is a far better word, analyze.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to take away from the song, but I mean, I don't think there's anything hidden deep within these that needs to be pulled apart. I think they're pretty straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward. Yeah, the bad times in the city. That's what it sounded like to me. So, yeah, same thing. Anyway, you got to see the goat again, and we'll probably do some more Stevie Ray Vaughan for funsies, not necessarily a literalist review, but for just the awesome power of the music. And you know what? And I'll say this over and over again: the passion of those players on that stage. Okay, and what was there, 5 this time? Guitar, bass, drums, another guitar, and keyboard, or Hammond B3 to be more specific.
I think it was 4. Wasn't it 2 guitars, drums, and a keyboard? Unless was there a bassist on this?
Was there a bass player as well?
You know what? There might have been. I was too busy.
I mean, the Hammond
elsewhere.
guy could have been laying the bass down, but I think there was a bass player in there.
Sure.
You're right. I was a little mesmerized by the 2 guitar players.
I was way too mesmerized.
But at the same time, you know what? If you weren't paying those guys to do that show, they would be doing that music somewhere in someone's backyard.
Yeah, they'd be in some bar just asking for donations, or on the street with a hat.
Right.
And busking is great. I am very pro busking. I do my best to try to carry cash if I'm going anywhere where I think there might be musicians just playing in public, because I think that busking is a public good that I'd like to support.
And Stevie Ray got a lot of attention. He got a lot of money there toward the end, but you know what? Music is so deeply within him that he would play for nothing. If he would do whatever it takes. He would take whatever job he needed so he could sustain life and keep playing music.
Yeah, if he was born a couple hundred years ago, I bet he'd play a mean lyre.
Lyre, yeah, a lyre.
The stringed instrument, the lyre.
Yeah.
He'd be a good bard.
Dave. Catch you on the flip side.